On December 31st, 1992, Sam Wheaton's father beat his mother to death with a broken whiskey bottle. His parents hadn't been arguing. There hadn't been any tension between them, or some inciting incident that set his father off. One minute the man was pouring himself his nightly 2 fingers of whiskey, and the next he was swinging the bottle as hard as he could. Sam would later say that he'd never forget the sound that the bottle made as it collided with his mother's left temple. It was a dull thunk, followed by a brief echo. He had never heard that exact sound before, and he hasn't since. That noise was followed by the crunch of bone as his mother's skull broke inward. Next came the escaping hiss of air as she gasped. Finally, there was the thud of her already lifeless body striking the kitchen floorboards. It was a momentary symphony of death. When the instruments fell silent, Sam no longer had a mother. At the same moment that everything was crashing down around him, another murder was taking place 3 doors down the block. Jeremy Thomas's mother was using one of her disposable razors to slit the throats of both him and his older sister. Despite him living so close, Sam didn't know Jeremy all that well. Jeremy was a year ahead of him in school. They had played Little League baseball together when they were younger, but they didn't have much in common, so they didn't spend time together except during those games. Across the street, Ginny Sanderson's mother didn't murder anyone. Instead, she used the freezer door of the refrigerator to bash her own brains in while her daughter watched in horror. The entire time she was doing so, she screamed loudly in French. Ginny had been unaware that her mother spoke that particular language. That night, at exactly 8:17 p.m., a portion of the population in roughly a 2-block radius of Porter's Grove, Indiana simultaneously went horribly and violently insane. By 8:25 p.m., that same night, it was over. Sometime around 8:20 p.m., Sam Wheaton's father finished clubbing his mother with a blood-splattered whiskey bottle and turned his attention to him.